Hello and welcome back to Squashwarp in Kerbal Space Program. I'm Luke. This is episode 48, I believe. And we are going to finally explore Duna. So I have had to turn off the collisions in parallax so these rocks don't really exist, which makes me sad, but we can imagine that the Kerbals are carefully picking their way along this rugged terrain. They've got the wheels for it. I think they could do it if they were careful. But I just simply don't have the patience. We've got several biomes to visit. I'm going to try to visit as many as I can. They have plenty of time. I just don't want to spend literal hours getting from place to place, so we're going to go quickly. And then, of course, if I'm recording it, I really don't want to make you watch it for hours. So we'll see how much of this I speed up. I could do 12 times time acceleration. I could try 16. I've not done that yet. Or I might crossfade through things. But I'm going to try to go to as many biomes as I can. But first, let me turn off the music, and let's do some science. So I'm going to open up the science thing. Should say we're going to be mostly on Duna today, although depending on how long our exploration takes, we might have to jump over to do some other things at Kerbin and Minmus, which will be a little break for us. So I've made an action group, so I'm going to press 7. And then all of those things should then do themselves, yes. You put a small sample of subsurface sand into the chamber and hear a series of tiny pops from the sodium as you heat it. Interesting. Alright, this is all from the Midland Sea. Good morning, ladies and gentle Kerbs. The weather outlook for today features highs of nippy -5 degrees with the dust storm hazard level at medium high. If you're going out, be sure to bundle up warm and always carry a respirator. This is Jeb for KSWN. Let's keep that. I'm not going to read all of these. Keep another cold day on Duna. Holidaying on the shores of the Great Western Desert seems very far away now. Yep. Keep. The goo looks bored here. So are you. Excuse me. That must be Jeb. Okay. So, we did all that science except for Burfle. Do a surface sample. And an EVA report. Board. Alright. Now, we need to collect all. Okay, now I'm going to do all of that 2 more times. I'll let you know when that's done. Oh, I forgot. I did everything that I could do, but I forgot. Somebody has to get out. This is Bob. Somebody has to get out and, whoops, walk through, phase through the rocks. I'm going to try to avoid doing that when I can. Let's pretend that they actually exist. And extend this ladder. Grab. And you need to, you know, this chair is actually kind of in the way. Climb out. Climb, it doesn't work. Board. Cannot board while not standing still. This is an interesting problem. Why can't I climb out? Climb out. Climb out. Okay. And I can't board because I'm on a ladder. Board. Okay. Now the next question is, why can't I take off? I thought you could take off on Duna. But maybe it's because I have a parachute. So let's solve this problem. Can I deposit my parachute in here, or does this thing not have cargo? Does not have cargo. So let's try, I'm gonna quick save. Let's try placing my parachute right here. Does that work? I was able to do this. Oh no, I'm only able to do that with Kerbal Inventory System. Okay, so because he masses more than the Kerbals used to. You know, you used to be able to fly on Duna, but now I can't fly. So I have a different idea. Let's forget this stock system. Let's look at my actual inventory. We need to do an alteration to the space, or to the rover here. So, oh my god, am I going to have to lower this every single time? Can I jump? I can jump. I just have to not bang my head. Jump. A little closer. Jump. No. A little closer. Jump. No, I'm climbing. No, I don't want to climb. I want to grab. Okay. Slowly sliding down. Grab. Board. Okay, oh wait, no, we gotta shuffle. Okay, wait, is there more room in here? Let's see. What I'm trying to do is get one of the engineers out. So, Burfle, transfer in here. And then, Bill, transfer. Did that work? Yeah, Bill, EVA. Let go. Bill has the drills. So let's see if this solves the problem. You know what? Actually, I just realized I might be able to board from here. No, I can't. All right, grab. Climb up. Now, can I... This is a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? Hang on, let's let go. Let's lower the gear. Can he board from there? Okay, all right. So it is possible to board from there. The next question is, does his life support get replenished? Yep. This is Bill. Life support is just as long as everyone else's. Okay. What happens when I leave the seat? Leave seat. Then I end up here. Okay, this is what we wanted. So actually, Bill doesn't need to do any construction. It's actually just that we have to lower the gear every time we want to accomplish anything. So grab, board, transfer you back, stand by. Okay, now Bob gets out. He runs to the rock again, whoops. He goes around this thing, and he boards the seat. Then, he leaves the seat, and from here, he can restore this, and then we press 7. So we get the mystery goo and the materials study. Then we collect all experiments here. So we should have 10 in here and 10 in here. Good. Now we switch to Bob again. He restores this and he restores this. We ignore this one. I don't know why we have 2. And then we switch to the craft again. We press 7. We should have 8 experiments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's correct. And then Burfle has to get out. Take an EVA report and a surface sample. Keep. Board. And now this thing can... not collect the data. Huh. Okay, hang on a second. I thought I saw an option to do that. Let me go into action groups. 6. Collect all. So let's see if that's actually... Oh, their music. If I press 6, does anything happen? No. Alright, well, another way to do this is just transmit this copy of everything. So, review data, transmit. Let's keep track of our scientific, our electric charge, review data, transmit. Because we only need 2 copies, one for the lab and one to go home or to go to Manticore or something like that. Review, transmit, review, transmit, view, transmit, review, transmit. And then Bob has to restore this and restore this. And then he can go ahead and board the seat, I guess. But for now, let's let him come back into the rover. Go around the rock this time. We ran out of electric charge. That's okay. Grab. Board. Gear. Let's save. And what did we not manage to transmit here? Alright, I'm gonna babysit this until we can transmit everything. This is gonna be a regular annoyance. I'm just gonna allow partial on this transmitter. And we'll try that again. This is gonna take forever. I don't want to pass too much time because we have only so much sunlight. There we go, 100%. Yeesh. Okay, quick save that. We don't necessarily need 3 copies. I don't have to min-max science so much. Like, if I min-max science too much, we'll finish the tech tree before we've done too much. Okay, now, let's decide where we're going. So let's turn off this thing, because this is no longer a necessary waypoint. Let's take a look at ScanSat, and look at Duna, the Duna biome map. So we're here, and we want to kind of drive around and get as many biomes as we can. So let me zoom in this way. So if we head this direction, we can get to the lowlands and the midlands pretty close to each other. So let's... Whoops, I accidentally zoomed in. That's not what I meant to do. Waypoint selector. Here. Set. Close. Can I see that? Oh, I have to activate navigation. There it is. It's that way. Cool. All right, that's the way we gotta go. So I'm going to... how far away is that? Does it say? Oh yeah, 57 kilometers. So I don't know how much of this you're going to see, but we're going to head off. I'm going to kick back, listen to an audiobook, and drive across Duna. I'm finally getting to do this. I've had several different... Over the last 10 years, I've had several different missions that had massive flotillas of ships that went out to Duna. I've never done a just, let's send 3 Kerbals. Maybe I did it once. I was like, I can do a stock, send 3 Kerbals, land on Duna, plant a flag, come home, whatever. Yes, I can do that. But I always wanted to send like a big mothership and lots of habitation and life support and rover and lander and habitat and all that stuff. So I'm finally getting to do it. So I hope that it is enjoyable to watch sped up rover travel. And I'll see you when we get to the lowlands. I realized that I could take low altitude flying science when we went over humps. So Burfel is gonna get out this time and reset the experiment so that we can do that again. Okay, back on our way. Well, that wasn't so good. I'm gonna have to reload all that journey, so you'll see some montages, because I do need to be more careful than that. I was just taking in the sights while I was going 30 kilometers a second. Yeah, whoops. I'm gonna reload that. You know, I'm the type of person that reloads because then it's less stressful for me. But I won't make you watch every time I make a mistake, so there'll be some cuts. So lesson learned, that is something that can happen. I think I can see the lowlands up ahead. There's a change in color. And maybe even midlands past that. See how there's like, we're driving over this sort of pink red, and then there's a little bit of an orange red or orangey, and then there's a little bit of a pale color. So let's see if that's the biome we're trying to get to. I turned my mic on and instead I pressed stop recording. But anyway, I'm back, and we've arrived. We're not at our marker yet, but we are in the lowlands. So let's come to a stop. We'll turn off this marker. Delete, yes. And we're on a bit of a slant, but that's okay. I'm gonna do some science. Let's send Burfle this time. Gear. And I'll do this sped up. Okay, and it seems that he's hooked into habitation just fine, so he can actually stay there as we proceed to the Midlands. I think that's where we're going next. Hang on, where are we going? Where are we? We're here in the lowlands. We want to go to the Midlands. Set. And then we'll go to that. Valentina's Landing. Okay, we sort of passed our marker, but we are in the Midlands. All right, science will commence. I'm going to try something. We can get flying science in an interesting way. So I can thrust, press 7, turn off the thrust, and we got flying, 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 flying. Good. Now let's collect all of that. And then we can repeat that. And we can do that as long as we have thrust, which we don't use very much of the fuel when we do that. So we can do that now in each biome. Instead of having to ramp over hills, we can just do it with the engines. I wonder, can I jump and get EVA flying? Let's try leaving the seat. Yep. Unfortunately, I did a backflip dismount off of... Now I gotta lower the gear again. So I can jump in. So I can get out. So I can store experiments. So I can come over here. Hang on, let's go somewhere flat. It's kind of flat right here. EVA report. Flying over the Midlands. Keep. Store. And he's got all this stored data that he can eventually put somewhere potentially. Okay. Burful is just going to keep sitting there. Now we got another destination to go to. Let's find it. So let's delete this one. And the new one is north. It is this thing. The Midland Canyon. So let's make a waypoint that way. You know what? We can just go north. No, it's easier to have a destination. I don't like looking at the thing, but at the same time it does make it a lot easier. Right, next. I'm just going to be doing this for the next like 6 hours, so, you know. I did it again. I stopped recording instead of turning on the mic. So I have reloaded 3 times because I'm being impatient and I'm going too fast, and then I fly over a hill and then everything explodes. So I'm going to try again, and I'm going to be more patient, and I'm going to go slower. Well, we're not in the canyon yet, but we've arrived at it. This, you can see this from space. That's where we're going. I'm going to have to be very careful with the brakes on the way down this hill, so let's save. Here we go. Okay, we're here in the Midland Canyon, and that means it's time for some science. I'm going to do regular science, I'm going to do float in the air science, and then I think Burful is going to come indoors, because, let's say real quick, the next biome is quite a ways away, and I probably won't record it all in one go, and I really have to see whether I do a montage with music, or I just fade through, or I just don't even show this stuff. But the next thing we've done Midland Sea, we've done Lowlands, we've done Midlands, and we've done Midland Canyon. Next is actually craters all the way up here. So let me take a look at that. Craters. Let's make a waypoint right there. Set. And let's see what that's like. If we turn that on. Distance 155 kilometers. So it's been taking me, well, let's see. I am now, I have made it through the Ainulindale, the Valaquenta, and I've started the Quenta Silmarillion. I'm on chapter 1. So however long that is, 30 minutes plus 30 minutes plus however long I am into this. So it's been over an hour. Some of that has been redos, and I don't know how far I've gone. Let's see. Oh, look, that's the target. Unset target. Set as target. Does it say distance to target? No, I don't. Oh, there it is. I've gone 67 kilometers, although not directly, and it's taken me about an hour. So now I need to go 155 kilometers. So I'll go for a while, and then I'll stop for food and all that. But I don't need to show you all these things, because we're going to go... Let's see. We're going to go... this is my plan. It may be too ambitious, but I'm enjoying driving on Duna. And I hate it when I drive through the rocks. But again, I'd have to go, 10% as fast if I was avoiding the rocks, let alone like bouncing all over the place because of the collisions. You can actually set in parallax like degrees of collisions, so like only large objects have collisions or something like that. So I could do that, but then I would crash into things at 30 meters a second, which I should do the calculation for. Yeah, I'm getting up to 70 miles an hour for us in the minority of the world that still uses that system, which I don't know what that is. That's over 100. Yeah, that's over 100 kilometers per hour. So I'm getting up pretty fast, and if there were collisions, I could not go that fast. So we're going to go to the craters, and then we're going to go to the Western Canyon and the Northeast Basin. And then, do we get Polar Highlands here? Yeah. So actually, we can ignore this, because from here we go south to the Southern Basin, to the Polar Highlands, to the poles, and then the polar craters. And then the only biomes that are missing are the Northern Shelf and the Eastern Canyon. Do I want to go to the Northern Shelf? It's going to be more than 150 that direction, and then I have to come back. Let's just do this loop. This is already going to be plenty of driving. The truth is, we're not going to need the science. I feel like we're going to finish the tech tree. There's a distinct possibility that we're going to finish the tech tree before this crew gets back from Duna. So it isn't the most critical thing to get all the science. And in fact, we get more science from Ike than we do from Duna, which is a little weird, but that's what we're going to do. So I will skip through it, or I'll fast forward through it, or I'll come back in 3 days and be like, guys, I spent the last 3 days driving around Duna, but you don't need to see it, because you have seen what happens. But I'll take some screenshots, and I will enjoy myself, and I will continue to listen to the Quenta Silmarillion. And yeah, here we go. Actually, it looks like we're going to have to spend a night on Duna. I guess we can make some headway, but I kind of want to move up the battery for them to... oh, well, look, it turned blue at the end there. Okay. I got the battery up as high as it'll go. Deploy. Deploy. Extend? No, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Deploy. I've got lots of little things. They should be on an action group. But anyway, we're on our landing legs. We're settled in for the night. And I think before the sun rises, we're going to have a ship arrive at Minmus. Let's go do that. All right, this is a life support module. This is a logistics module that has to go to the Basilisk Station. These both go to the Basilisk Station. This one's eventually going to get landed at the surface base, but the ship that lands this is currently at the wrong space station. So we're just going to get into orbit. Also, we don't have any... Oh, we do have monopropellant. Look at that. We have monopropellant. We could dock. All right, well, let's go dock with... Basilisk Station. All right, I've probably cut out setting up most of this maneuver because it was a little tedious. I burned in a couple different directions, and then I set up a maneuver. Now we're going to do that maneuver and rendezvous with the station. We are now docked, and we're in the dark. This is an interesting looking station. It's all very flat, and it's all to the left except for this thing, which it wasn't on purpose. But anyway, we now don't need this, but we can take the fuel from it. Well, yeah, no, we can take the fuel and the monopropellant from it. Should be able to deorbit itself. Doesn't take much, so I'm gonna deal with that, and then I want to go back to Duna and keep exploring Duna, but actually we need to deal with our moon habitat. So we're gonna do a little bit of a mix of exploring Duna and also taking care of our Kerbals back here at in the Kerbin system. I'm going to deorbit this. Okay, this will crash. Over here somewhere, which is fine, and we're going to do some launches at Kerbin. So I actually did a redesign of the moon lander that is going to do the resupply mission to the moon science lab. I just hit something on my headphones. So that's not ready for another 5 days, so we'll just launch this. This is my shipment of specialized parts for the poor colony base Bastion, which was missing, couldn't make specialized parts without refined exotics, and couldn't switch to making refined exotics without more specialized parts. So we're gonna launch this, we're gonna head to Minmus, but then we'll switch back and we'll explore Duna more. And once again, we've chosen to launch in the middle of a thunderstorm, so here we go. Hopefully we don't get struck by lightning. That'd be I don't know if that would be a fun feature, or if that would just be a real pain. Okay, rendezvous with Minmus is set. It will be in 4 days. The Griffin lander will be complete 1 hour before that, so that's the crew resupply mission. So we're gonna... oh, wait a minute. This is the Eve Kerbin window? Oh. Okay, we have to send our crew home. Fascinating. Okay, I need a break, but then I'll come back and I'll look at that. So our Eve explorers, it's time for them to come home. Well, that's a shame, but it's also very exciting. All right, so I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to look at the Eve situation, and we'll either do something with that, or we'll explore more of Duna, and eventually we'll finish this part delivery thing, this specialized parts delivery. Let's point on the line so that we can get our ideal solar panel coverage. The Eve mission is almost complete. The Duna mission is in its main phase, and we're getting close to finishing the base on Minmus. Not quite there yet, but we're getting close. And our moon lab is gonna have new crew. There's a lot going on. I'm here with the questing night mothership in orbit of Gilly. And we didn't spend much time orbiting Eve, did we? Where even is Eve? There it is. I assume we looked at it with our telescope from afar and did as much research as we could, but mostly we've been going through the science that we gathered from Gilly here. And I guess we could transmit our science, but I'm going to make a name quick save real quick. I'll be right back. So this is not really the right time to leave Eve. We're a few days early for our departure, but we're also in completely the wrong place. Whoa, that was a weird moment with Gilly. Gilly is in completely the wrong part of the orbit. What you really should do, I think, is... Oh, there's our light reflecting on Gilly for some reason. I think what you want to do is leave Gilly at the right time so that your periaps at Eve is in the right place to slingshot around Eve and get a burn at Eve periaps, and then you can head back to Kerbin with as little delta V as possible. But we have 4 kilometers. I don't know how that happened, but we have 4 kilometers per second of delta V. I don't know if we forgot something we were supposed to do. Maybe the plan was to go back and circularize in a polar orbit and do polar science. I don't really remember, but we're ready to go home now, and we have more than enough delta V to just do it from where we are with a brute force. I can see Sarnus through Gilly. With a brute force burn that just takes us... Let's see, can I... Let's focus on Eve. Like, Gilly's going this way. We can just go like that. Use Eve as a gravity assist, and that will change our course off to rendezvousing with Kerbin in 124 days. Or thereabouts. See, we got crumpled Gilly again. But we need to get our science, because we're leaving the lander. I mean, I guess there's not really any need to leave the lander. We have plenty of delta V. Yeah, just for posterity, we can bring it home. Nobody else needs to land on Gilly, so that's fine. We'll just take the whole kit and caboodle home. Okay. It's going to be a 5-minute burn, though. So we're gonna go home, guys. Staffel, Janeni, Gwendis, and Hudemy are gonna head back to Kerbin now. How's your life support? 13 days, and we're making more in the greenhouses. And we can be here for another year and 40 days, so we're fine. Let's go. 1400 meter per second burn. Now, Staffel really wanted to do an EVA down to the surface, but unfortunately, we had to say no to that just because we're worried about suit habitation time. Delete that. And then I got to make sure to turn off these engines. I can't click them. Oh well, I'll wait until it stops moving. The little thrusters on the lander are gonna activate and slow us down slightly. Come on. Nope. There we go. Ant, shut down. Nope. Ant, shut down. There we go. All right, we're aligned. Starting burn in 5 seconds. Okay. Goodbye, Gilly. Alright, well, we left Gilly's sphere of influence before the burn was complete, so we're going to have to rebuild that. Stand by. I've never done that. I've never been in the middle of a burn when I went through a sphere of influence before. Let's assume that this is roughly correct. I'm going to fiddle with the maneuver. There we go. Okay. Still got another couple hundred to go. Okay, we have a Kerbin encounter. I'm going to set up a correction burn halfway there if I can find our orbit. Okay, with not a very big correction burn, we can adjust and come down pretty low over Kerbin, so that's great. We've still got plenty of Delta V for capture, so I'm going to add an alarm for the maneuver, which is in 28 days. And I'll go ahead and add a Sphere of Influence alarm just so we know when that's happening. In 4 days, we're leaving Eve's Sphere of Influence. What am I even looking at here? Focus on Vessel. We're going to swing by Eve, but not as close as we originally intended. And we're going to get to Kerbin in 100 and something days. Which we have more than enough life support for. What do you think, y'all? Goodbye to Gilly. Goodbye to Eve. Keep doing your research. They're going to keep working away in the science lab. All right, nice flying, Staffel. I'm going to go back to the Duna rover, I think. Yeah, because the Griffin lander is not done yet. We can now ignore the Eve Kerbin alarm because that's what we just did. So we have 4 days to drive around Duna. Looks like we missed most of the next day because we were doing other things. So we'll drive with what sunlight we have. I realized as I was editing the first part of this video that the sound of the wheels hitting the ground kind of sounds awful. So I might have to not put audio in the driving. The effort of putting music on over everything is a bit of a thing. So we'll see. We'll see what I end up with. Do I have RCS on this? What's going on? Didn't realize I had monopropellant. Oh yeah, I do. I have monopropellant. I have RCS. I really don't need that. Oh well. We're gonna go on our adventure. You may see some of it. When I made an action group so that all the landing gear would all retract and deploy at the same time, I did not expect this result. But we can do a little dance. In fact, we can crawl along the surface. It's almost as though we are a little insect that is walking. Well, in any case, I'm going to have to manually do this. Let's start from the back, and then we will go on our journey. Well, we've made it to the craters biome, and we're going to do the science. I'll skip through that. The thing is, that took me 2.5 hours. So let's take a look at our biome map real quick. We went from the Midland Canyon, 150 something kilometers. We were about here. So we went this distance in about 2.5 hours. So another 3 hours to get here. Who knows how long to get here. And then who knows how long to get back. I think it's a weird thing because we came all the way and there's no reason not to. The rover has plenty of time that it can be on the planet. And the Kerbals have plenty of time they can be on the planet. And there's no reason not to go do it except... I don't know that I'm having the kind of week where I want to spend the rest of the time that I have this week to play games just micromanaging driving across Duna. It's very cool, it's very pretty, but I think we might cut our science short. Our science sort. That's very pretty though, look at that. Sun setting. Regardless, we have to spend the night here. So I'm going to do the science and then button them down for the night. And then I think we have things we need to do. No, we can probably just go through the night and then I can take them home. But the montage to get back to the ascent vehicle will be much shorter than the montage to get here. I just felt like we need to do some kind of montage of the journey, given that I've spent the last 3 hours of my life driving across Duna. And I've been looking forward to doing that for forever, too. Let's turn the lights on. It's getting dark. Alright. Science time. And then you'll probably see me next when I'm about to get home. By home, I mean back to the ascent vehicle. To pass the night, I'm going to look at the Duna Hab so that if the electricity runs down, it's fine. I hear a noise. It's like a hissing. Maybe we're in the wind? I don't know. But anyway, let's pass the night. Well, aside from the transmitter turning on and off, that was really cool. Okay, let's go to the other thing. Crew of the rover is waiting for sunrise. While they're waiting, they're gonna get out and plant a flag. Here we go, everybody. Okay. Alright, Valentina. You get to plant the flag. We got Bob, Burful, Jeb, Val, Jenny, and Bill. Oh. Valentina's freaking out a little bit. Here we go. Flag planting on Duna. We're in the craters. Plant a flag. Site name. Duna Craters. Valentina, Jeb. You believe it or not, I don't know how to spell Jebediah. Bill, Bob, Burful, Jenny. What a beautiful world. Plant. Climb. Yep. And now we all go back inside and wait for sunrise because they don't have the life support. Well, I can keep an eye on life support. Hang on. Hang on. Stand here. Stand like this. Stand like that. There we go. We're looking like this. And we're going to turn this off. I'm going to quick save. Make sure that that quick save actually happened. I'm going to keep an eye on this. 56 minutes remaining. Well, that stays up. Okay, hang on. Let me make that go away. How is their life support when the sun rises? Here comes the sun. There it is. Look at that. Sunrise. And they didn't have to, they're fine. All right, now we'll pile back in, which I'll skip through, and then we'll start our journey back, which I'll also skip through. You just believe me that I drive for another 2 hours. Okay, Bob is the last to board. Here we go. There's an eclipse. I guess this happens every day in this part of Duna because Ike is passing overhead. So we'll see how long the battery lasts, but I'm going to have to pause my journey. But we've gotten pretty close. It's only 23 kilometers away. I've been here for quite some time. All right, I'm going to proceed in the dark, but I might have to pause due to battery life. We'll see. The sun is coming back out again. Yep, the eclipse is coming to an end. You can see we had some clouds pass over. Getting close. The sun and the moon are about to rise in the Silmarillion, so made it quite a ways. But that's okay. Just appreciating the cloud mod here. Just wondering if we were going to get a dust storm or anything, but we'll see. We'll be on Duna a little bit longer. Well, I'm arriving at the habitat here, and I forgot to turn the mic back on, and so this is a little post-commentary. So I will go through this kind of fast since I don't remember everything that I said, but we figured we'd stop by the habitat even though we're not really using it. Let me speed this up. So I thought we'd get Jeb out and so that Bill could move in. Bill is going to try to check out the habitat, but we can't the EVA pack can't get us up to the spacecraft because we don't have a ladder. I thought that you could fly on Duna with a jetpack. So I don't know why our Kerbals are heavy. So I use Jeb because he's not carrying the Kerbal inventory system parts and he's able to jump in. So we're looking out the windows, exploring the habitat that we didn't use. There's our rover out the window. But that's about it. We never figured out why we can't fly on Duna. Who knows? Maybe it's a change that they made since the last time I actually got here. And we're going to pile back in. And, you know, it's a cute habitat. I'm glad that we have it, but we're not going to use it. And now we're going to head off back to the ascent vehicle, and I'll see you there. Alright, we're arriving back at our ascent vehicle. So, I'm going to imagine that they explored further and longer than I did. The rover is completely capable of doing lots of other things. And I'm not going to launch them right now, even though the most optimal thing to do would be to pile into the ascent vehicle, launch right now, and get started processing all this data we got. But I'm going to leave them on the surface a little bit longer, so we'll see them launch next episode probably. But in the meantime, we're going to pull up to the ascent vehicle, not crash into it. Brake. Find this flat spot right here. There we go. Brake. And deploy the landing legs. Retract the gear. There we go. And just listen to the sound of the wind. We made it. We made it on a big hike, a big trek. A road trip? A road trip. We had a road trip. Alright, good job everybody. So, we'll leave them happily exploring Duna for a little bit longer, and we're gonna go check on our Minmus situation, and maybe deal with our moon lab as well. As a final thing, I'm gonna finish getting this specialized parts delivery vehicle out to the Minmus base. We'll do this fast, and then we'll try to activate the base and see if the other craft that I sent out is actually working. Let's go. Okay, I had to fast forward through a bunch of alarms that were telling me that various things were finished. Now we're going to go to Menmis. The station has loaded in. We need to land within 150 meters. Oh, this math is wrong again. Oh, it's lagging. Oh, what? Where'd all my fuel go? Oh, well, we're gonna have to redo that. Look out. Okay, let's try that again. Somehow I ended up with not enough delta V, so we're gonna have to lithobrake. It's gonna take a few tries. Let's see if I can do this. Oh my goodness, it worked. Alright, alright. Keep pointing retrograde. We're gonna fly well over it. And then, we're still gonna hit the surface kind of fast. This is not doing us any good at all. I don't know how I managed to mess up my delta V math again. But, if we hit as hard as we did and bounced, we might be okay. I'm gonna quick save this. Oh no, I cannot quick save while about to crash. Okay, that's reasonable. Just hope that our landing stays as gentle as possible, and then we can pick this stuff up with the rover, I think. Here we come. Not bad. Good job, landing legs. Good job. Okay. Point straight up. There we are. Okay, let's quick save that. Oh boy. Alright, let's switch to this rover over here. And see if we need Kerbals in it. Look, these wheels are going to be fixed because I fixed the config for the wheels. Let's retract the solar panels before something horrible happens to them. That animation doesn't quite work, does it? I don't know what happened there. Okay. Well, wait, none of these are set up to be the right kind of container. That's supplies. That's metallic ore. And these are supplies or mulch or... Okay. Alright, we need to send out a Kerbal. Let's lower the gear so that a Kerbal can get in if they need to. And who's our pilot? Tomden. I believe Tomden is in the logistics room. Oh look, there's a hatch there I didn't know about. Okay. Let's come out. Now, do I need to be an engineer to reconfigure the containers? Now we'll go find that out. I'm going to fast forward through this. Alright, can we repaint these? Repaint to be specialized parts, please. Polymers, supplies, or machinery, recyclables, specialized parts. Fantastic. Now, let's go climb in at the front. We'll drive over, we'll transfer the specialized parts from the lander to the rover, and then, because I don't think we can, like if I get in, I think we need to do it this way because it's not within range. If I get in, knock the thing over and board, and I pull up the colony interface, local logistics, is not going to include the lander we just lithobreaked successfully somehow. So let's go pick it up. We should be able to grab it from there and then drive back. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, control from here. Command. Control from here. SAS on. Caps lock for fine control. Be very careful with wheels on Minmus. Now, I did change the configs for these, but you know what? Let's turn off steering on the rear wheels. No, enabled. I just inverted it. That's not what I want. Disabled. What's going on? Steering is enabled. Steering is enabled. Alright. It's not steering very well, but that's fine. We'll make it there. Okay, we made it. We didn't roll over. Now I should be able to grab the specialized parts. Boom. Great. Specialized parts delivery. Fantastic. This is making me much happier with the mod than I had been the last time I played with it. Okay. Thank you, specialized parts delivery that didn't have enough fuel for some reason. And it turns out that we did need this rover after all. This rover was sitting there doing nothing, but it turned out that it actually was really critical. Let's go back. Alright, we're close enough. We don't want Griffin Lander, we want to Bastion, specialized parts, transfer everything over. Everything over. Oh, that's as much as it fits, so some is still stored in here for some reason. That's fine. As soon as this thing stops, which should happen any minute. Not that. How do I turn this off? There we go. There we go. Stop. Brakes are on. Tom can get out. And he can make his way back, and then we'll check on the base. Okay. Tomden's back. Oh wait. No, Tomden, I need you to get out. EVA. And then from there, can you reach this thing? Next bay, we need it to make refined exotics. Boom. Okay, it has to be an engineer. That's fair enough, that's fine. Who's our engineer? Tomfrid. Where are you? What? You're also in there? Oh. Okay, I didn't know more. I didn't know two people could fit in there. Refined exotics. Boom. There we go. Okay. So that means we should now be making refined exotics. So let's see if that in fact is the case. Stand by. We are not making refined exotics because we do not have any rare metals or exotic minerals. But it may be that if we go away and come back, it will start, because that's what happened last time I had this situation. Let's make sure that this... We got out of this module, so let's make sure that this is still working. Well, one thing I was able to do is turn the lights on in all the various places that the Kerbals might want to be able to see. Although this thing, we can probably turn the lights off, because that they have to climb through a bunch of machinery to get to that. That's not really what they use. They use this one, and then they live in this little... Kerbals just live in from here to these. This stuff is inaccessible, although apparently they can get up into this. Yeah, so I don't know... Enable weight transfer, huh? It should be working. So let me switch away and come back and see if that helps. Yeah, I think this worked because just like last time when I switched over to this thing, this is half empty. So now if I go back to the base, if I can get to the base, Griffin Lander, sure. Oh, it immediately powered down. Okay. I have to fix that then. Whoops. Not a lot of batteries on that. Okay, now I should see a different story. No, refined exotics still not being made. Do I have to set their container as a planetary warehouse? There we go. I had to set this as a planetary warehouse. There it is. So now we are making refined exotics. Very slowly, but we are doing it. I still have one more piece to add to this whole thing. So I'm not going to worry about optimizing this yet. All I have to do now is go back to I have to wait until daytime and go back to that thing that I drained the battery of and make sure that I turn the drills back on. Otherwise, we won't get any more of our supplies. But I will do that on my own time. Thank you so much for watching. We explored Duna today. I mean, I've been exploring Duna for a couple of days of driving, but that's fine. It was fun, although, yeah, I don't have it in me to go to any more biomes. But, yeah, base on Minmus is functioning. Science on Duna has happened. The Kerbals have had a great time, and I hope you have too. And I will see you for the next one. Bye-bye.